She got me saying, yo, know you know your name, but excuse me, miss. I see you from across the room. Yep, I started the podcast out or off by singing Yo by Chris Brown because I am a part of Team Breezy. In my head, I think I am Chris Brown. So, yes, that is my way of saying, yo, 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 what's good, everybody? You all know who it is. It's your boy, Jarrell, better known as Life Coach Jarrell, and welcome to another episode of Evolving with Life Coach Jarrell. And if you are subscribed to the podcast or you follow the podcast on any platform, meaning Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music, you are an evolver. Yeah. So, all celebrities have like little names for their people. So, in my head, I'm a celebrity, right? But I'm still a person. I'm a regular person. But I got to manifest those things, right? So for everyone that follows the podcast Evolving with Life Coach Jarrell and you are applying this information that's being laid down and put down, you are an evolver. You are evolving in your life to be better. Yeah, you're pushing yourself, you're growing, you're believing in you. And, I'm really, really big on unlearning those learned behaviors, right? You are doing the damn thing, right? So, once again, I hope everyone's doing really, really good out there. I hope everyone's taking care of their mental health. I hope everyone's taking care of um, anything that needs taken care of, right? I'm not going to go through a whole list of things, but if you are taking care of what needs to be taken care of, good for you. If you're not taking care of what needs to be taken care of, what you waiting on? What are you waiting on? What you gonna do about that? Get on board. You can't be over here listening to this podcast and not evolving in at least one area in your life, or at least a little bit day by day. So, once again, I do want to thank all of my family members and all of my friends that are followers of the podcast. You guys are listening, and I hope that I am providing you guys with some good tips in life. I hope that I am helping you guys find deeper things within yourself and who you are, and pushing you to be better. And also, I hope you guys are sharing the podcast out, right? You have family members or you have friends or you're at the airport and you have a layover and you and someone are talking about podcasts and things that you like, drop Evolving with Life Coach in on people. Like, share it on your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikToks, whatever the case may be. Like, tag my podcast in it and let people know where to find it, right? Because this is information that everybody needs, right? We are all out here helping one another, right? Taking it one day at a time. So, with that being said, I just wanted to come here and just kind of chill in and have a fun podcast talk or conversation with you guys, and just to have a lighthearted podcast because I know sometimes topics can be um, sometimes a little tough, right? Depending on how you woke up or how you went to bed at night or what's going on with your life. Sometimes you need those really, really hard hitting podcasts or those talks to kind of get you straight. And then sometimes it's just like, hey, it's a Saturday or it's an off day or I'm on vacation. I'm just cleaning up and I just kind of want to have a conversation about things that are good, or I just kind of want to have or listen to something that's very, very lighthearted, right? So that's what this podcast is going to be about today. And I was thinking about when I was in Bali. And when I was in Bali, if you guys don't know, I went to Bali in May. That's what this podcast is entitled. It's called Off the Grid. And remember, right now, I'm not on any type of social media, right? No Facebook, no Instagram, nothing like that. I'm just really focusing in and paying attention to things in life that are going on around me that cause me to have these aha moments where I'm like, man, um, I really don't need to take life for granted. Um, and I had this thought when I was watching TV a couple of days ago, and I had to ask myself, like, Jarrell, as you being a 40-year-old male, right? And next year, like I'll be 41. I'm like, what does the next like couple of years look like for you, Jarrell, at the age of 40? Let's just say 40 to 45. You know, people are always like, oh, you have a 5-year plan. And I'm like, no, I don't have a 5-year plan. I'm just out here winging this bitch. But but no, I was like, what does the next 5 years look like? And I was telling myself, and I was like, well, I just got so much that I got to work on. I got so much I got to do. And, you know, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still got a lot that I got to learn. And I literally had to tell myself, I was like, bro, you are 40 years old. You have good health. You've not been locked up for anything. You've not been in any crazy situations. You have your dream job. You have not one lick of stress in your life. Family is good, finances are good. And I was like, you know what I'm gonna do for the next 5 years? I was I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do. Whatever I wanna do. And I don't know about you all, but my parents always taught us you gotta always have a plan. You gotta always have a plan. You gotta always have a plan. You gotta be saving and putting back for a rainy day. You gotta be putting back saving for a rainy day. And I had to ask myself, like, I've been planning for this rainy day, and a somewhat of my life feels like maybe the rainy day happened. But the way that if you guys have old school parents, like parents that are anywhere in their maybe 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe 80s, you know, when those parents kind of taught you those life lessons and told you that you need to be prepared for a rainy day, they made it seem like your home was going to explode, you were going to lose cars, house, money, and everything, and that if you didn't have something set aside, that you were literally going to fail in life, right? So there was a level of fear that, you know, those old school parents put in you or in us, but it was also lessons in that to teach you security, to teach you financial stability, to teach you the difference between wants and needs, right? That was my dad's biggest thing. I got so sick of hearing that growing up. Like when we would get like little money and we'd be like, okay, we're gonna go shop and we want to buy this, and we'd be picking stuff up, and my dad would be like, do you want that or do you need that? And we'd be like, well, we want it. He was like, well, why do you want it? And it was like, uh, because I worked hard and it's what I want. And my dad would be like, okay, you want that, but what do you need right now? And so he was like, do you need socks? Do you need underwear? Do you need gas in the car? And around this time, I was kind of getting ready. I had just decided where I wanted to go to college. He was like, are you going to need like notebook paper? Are you going to need pencils? Are you going to need washing detergent while you're in school? Like, what are you going to need? And I remember being like, "Ugh, this man get on my nerves. Like, I can't even take my money and do nothing. All I want to do is just go by da 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 da, and it got to be a whole lecture. It got to be a whole da 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 da. And I used to be like, man, bro, get on my nerves. But when I tell y'all, learning and understanding the difference between a need and a want at the age of 40, one of the greatest lessons that I learned at a young age that has allowed me to live very comfortable. I am at a place in my life where I had to realize that, you know what? It's a lot of things in life that I always wanted, or certain things throughout the years. And I'm like, oh, I want that. I want that. And I've gotten them. And I look at stuff and I'm like, I don't even do anything with this. Like, prime example, last year I bought an entire cycle bike. Like when people spin and they kind of do like the choreography on the cycle bikes and spin bikes and things like that. Cause I fell in love with my spin class in Little Rock. Shout out to Click Cycle. Shout out to Carolyn. Shout out to Peter. Shout out to McKenna. Shout out to all Sarada. Shout out to all of the trainers, hopefully that are still there. Javier. Shout out to everyone, man. that that's there doing those classes, and it's just I miss my cycle family. That's another story. But I was like, okay, I bought a cycle bike, right? Paid like $200 for the cycle bike, put it together and everything. And I was cycling for like a couple of months here. When I tell you, I ain't been on that cycle bike and God knows when. And I'm like, I wanted that so bad, but did I need it? Probably not. Bought a pair of rollerblades because I like the rollerblade. Bought them last year, had a good time outside rollerblading, and was on social media, going out there every day, exercising. I ain't touched the rollerblades none this year. And it's like, did I really need that? So I find little things in my life where I'm like, you know what? You have those moments where it's like, I want this, I want this, I want it. But it's like, if I could go back and return that stuff, I'd probably have like a nice $400 just between rollerblades and a cycle bike. But hey, I'm blessed to be in a position, right, to have been able to get those things. But so I told myself, I said, you know what, in my life right now, I'm gonna do whatever it is that I want to do that makes me happy, that allows me to have fun. So if that's traveling, I want to travel, I'm gonna travel, right? If I am going to um choose to buy a cookbook, right? And teach myself different type of recipes and things like that to cook. Like, I want to do that. I want to go visit friends, I'll do that. If I want to purchase things for people or do some gift giving or like whatever the case may be, it's like, man, I've operated my entire life off of always having a plan. Got to dot this I and cross this T and check this box and check this box. Like, even though it's been a blessing for me, but that can also be very stressful. It can also be very overwhelming because it's like a lot of expectations that I'm putting on myself when it's just something simple as like, hey, it doesn't take all of that. Just either say yes or either say no, right? So there's always that the benefits of having parents that taught you how to really, really think things through. But then on the flip side, it's like you think everything through. Like choosing to go to a restaurant to eat versus cooking. And it's like, you can just make a decision. And either way it goes, whichever one you choose, you have the money to do either or. Just ask yourself, what do I want to do and what don't I want to do? And it's like, I've had to learn how to just say, it's okay. It's okay to live a little. It's okay to say no, right? Like when I tell y'all, like I be saying no so much now, and I absolutely care nothing about how people feel when I say no. I don't care if it is, hey, let's get together and no. And it's not because I don't want to go anywhere. It's not because I don't want to do anything. It's simply because I trust my gut feeling. Anytime someone says, "Hey, you want to get together," or "Let's do," or "What you think about," if my gut is like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely down for that. Let's make that happen," I am going to always say yes. The minute people be asking me to go places to do certain things, or "Oh, let's da 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 da," and I'll be like, "Nah, I'm good." It's like that's because my gut feeling is literally telling me this does not call to your energy. And that has nothing to do with age, just because I'm 40. It has nothing to do with being tired from work because I can honestly say work does not tire me out. I do not have not one lick of stress in my life. I was just having this conversation with someone yesterday. We were watching a vlog, and this young lady was like, you know, there's no way to avoid stress. There is stress everywhere you turn, and there is stress in everybody's life. So the only thing that you can do at this point in time is learn how to manage stress. And I was like, and my friend was like, "What? Like you don't think what she said is true?" And I was like, "No, I don't. I don't agree with that." And he was like, "Well, everybody has stress," and I was like, "No, everybody doesn't have stress." And he was like, "So you don't have anything you're stressing about in your life?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I go to bed in peace. I wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom in peace. And I wake up in the morning in peace. There is not one person or one thing or any job or career or anything in my life that I dread or hate. There is no one that calls my phone that has drama and mess and craziness where it stresses me out. I don't have friends that I know of going through foolish situations. And if they are, they know not to come over here to me with it because I'm not going to spare you because I am going to hold you accountable. I hold myself accountable. I make choices and decisions that keep me out of conflict and craziness. I don't go out here and make crazy, ignorant purchases knowing that I can't afford. Like, I don't have those things in my life. And so for me, what I have to explain to a lot of people is if stress finds its way into my life, it was a voluntary invitation. I invited that in. I invited that discord in my life. My life, and I thank God, I really, really do. My life is so smooth, y'all. My life is so chill that anything, anybody, any conversation, I don't care what it is. If it looks like it's going to be stressful or it smells like mess, it is a no. I refuse to attach myself to anyone or anything that will interrupt my peace. There may be a lot of things in the world that may be out of my control and a lot of things that could possibly maybe call us home to glory. But one thing it ain't going to be is stress, especially stress from other people and they craziness and they mess of what they got going on. So what I've done with myself, man, I have created a non-negotiable for my peace. If you guys remember in like previous podcasts, I talked about Self Care Sunday. My Self Care Sunday is a non negotiable. I don't play about that. No, you can't come over here. No, let's go to brunch. No, 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 no. Sunday is my day. I don't budge off that. Don't ask me to go to no brunch. Don't ask me to go out nowhere. No, it's going to be a no. Now, if I reach out and say, hey, I want to get out the house and do something for myself for Self Care Sunday, and I want to see if someone wants to go and do this with me, then that's different. But also understand that if I am asking you to go or do somewhere or do something with me or to be a part of something with me, I have non negotiables in you being around me in certain moments, right? So I'm one of those people like I'm an empath, right? I feel everything. I've learned to trust my gut feeling with everything. Also, I'm one of those people, I'm always paying attention. I'm always hearing things, right? I really be dead ass paying attention to my surroundings. I dead ass pay attention to people and their energy. When people talk, I really listen to people when they talk because you learn so much about people. And there are certain people that when they talk about certain things in certain situations, I'm like, yeah, I can already tell like this person may be someone that is just cool to just kind of hang around in this setting because just like every day, every single day, like yeah, they disturb my peace, they disturb my energy. But also knowing that people are also learning their own life lessons, right? And that's where I give grace to people. I'm like, I have to give people grace when I can say, hey, been there, done that. I know what they're going through, right? I can give you grace to say, hey, you're going to eventually figure out. But I don't have to give you grace when you're coming over here disrupting my peace. And it's like, hey, I've learned my lesson. I done bumped my head. I done already had my hairline fracture and gone through physical therapy of the crap that I allowed in my life. I've already kind of, in a sense, gotten it together and held myself accountable and owned my part in the mess and the foolishness that I allowed in life, right? Because when I wasn't owning that stuff, the other people and other things, they were always the problem. It was always them, 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 them. But see, now how I got my peace and how I cut that stress out, I had to acknowledge that, yeah, even though all of this craziness was going on, you allowed some level of it. You allowed like 50% of it, if not more. Nobody forced this on you. Nobody had a gun in your head and told you to stay at these jobs and careers when they were not treating you right, not applying yourself, staying in relationships that were not the best, or staying with people that, were not the best. Nobody told you to stay. You chose. And there's a lot of, childhood trauma. There's a lot of things, my parents are areas that my parents didn't really like maybe develop me in, right? There's a lot of self confidence and self worth and valuing that I didn't know. But when I finally started to piece the pieces together and I started to do the work, right? Y'all remember the podcast where I talked about choosing myself? See, I started to choose myself because I got tired of losing and losing myself. So once I started to learn the lessons and start saying no and start understanding that people will be the entire hell okay when you tell them no, they'll be okay. They will get over it, right? When I really started saying no and started saying yes to me, I really started saying yes to me and for me. Man, when that happened, man, I started taking trips, taking cruises, going to Chris Brown concerts, Brandy concerts, man, going out of town, visiting friends. And man, when I tell you, I started living. And there's absolutely nothing or no one that will ever make me go back to the place in my life where I was just kind of doing just enough. And what I'm realizing right now is I'm living my life and I really had all the tools the entire time. I had what it took to be living. The only thing was, you want to know what it was? Man, it was fear. It was fear. Do I still have fear today? Absolutely. I do. I always tell people, they say, what's your greatest fear? I say, one of my greatest fears is success. I know that I'm winning right now, but when I think about overall success, like sitting in an interview with Kiki Palmer or being on like Jimmy Fallon or being on OWN Network or being on Bravo as being a life coach, working with like maybe like some of the housewives of Atlanta, or kind of in a sense being brought in on to like love and marriage boot camps, or being like the like life coach of the season. Like when I think about success on that level, that scares the entire hell out of me. And it's like, but I know that could happen. I know that could really, really, really be. But I also say, I know it's possible because I see it in my 8 to 5. I see how I've worked my butt off to get where I am, because where I am is where I wanted to be the first time they sent me off the training for my company. I said, I don't know what these people are up here doing with these little headsets, and they are motivating people and they are helping people. And it's like, man, they are the trainers of the company. I was like, man, I want to do that. And 7 years later, I am doing that. So I know that manifestation is real. I know speaking those things into existence is real. My dad taught us those 5 P's. I know that proper planning prevents poor performance. But I'm still scared of like huge success because of like what the industry is and how it is. But I also have to tell myself, well, you don't always have to do any and everything that people do. You have the tools. Stay true to who you are and allow those things to manifest and allow those things to happen. So I'm working on that fear and I'm working through that fear. But the biggest thing is verbally acknowledging and saying that it exists. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge a lot of things. And that's why it's hard for people to accept. You can't accept something that you don't acknowledge. But if you acknowledge it and you understand that it's there and you accept that it's there, you then get to choose what to do after that. Yeah. So I choose my peace every single time. And I don't allow people to make me feel guilty for choosing me. I don't allow people to make me feel that what I do, how I live, the things I want to do, how I take care of me, how I support me, how I trust me. I don't let anybody be like, oh, yeah, you don't never, yeah, you don't. No, no, no. I do exactly what I be wanting to do. And when I tell you I be at peace, when I'm ready to get outside, I gets outside. But when I want to be inside, I'm going to stay inside. When you paying mortgages and you paying electricity bills, gas and water and all of this stuff, you paying all of this money to never be here? No, 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 no. I am going to enjoy my home. That's what it's for. One thing about being in the house and enjoying your own company, you ain't got to worry about being shot, being handcuffed, unless it's snipers and stuff like that going around. But there is so much peace and comfort in your own home. That's one reason why I don't like going to brunch. And if y'all know, I hate brunch. I hate, I enjoy the concept of brunch, but I hate brunch. Because why do I have to make a reservation? Well, let's start from the beginning because y'all already know who I am. Why do we all have to get together as a group of people and say, okay, we're gonna go to brunch? Somebody creates a reservation. So I ain't got no problem getting dressed. Get dressed, put on a nice outfit, do my little 1-2. But now when I get to the restaurant on time, because brunch is at a certain time, right? We gotta be, it says, hey, all parties need to be here. Everybody needs to be at the same time to be seated. Let's say brunch is for 12:30. I get there at 12:30. It's a party of 8 or 9. Only 4 people here on time. 2 people still at the house getting dressed. 2 more other people, they just left the house. So they 15, 20 minutes out. And then the other person, they sent a text message when they supposed to be there that they not gonna make it. So now it's this whole level of inconvenience, right? So now I'm hungry and ready to be set so I can start ordering drinks and eat. Now it's 25, 30 minutes late. Now the late people showing up. And it's like, hey, I'm here. And it's just like, yeah, you're 30 minutes late. Now, when we get set, we gotta wait another 5 or 10 minutes to get a waiter. You order water and drinks. Then it takes another 15, 20 minutes just to get the drinks. Then here comes the rest of the party. Now people don't want to order because they don't want to be rude and order food while everybody else hasn't looked at the menu. So now you got to wait longer. Then you order the food. When the food finally comes a good 20, 25, or 30 minutes later, depending on how busy brunch is, they start bringing food to the table. Nobody remembers what they ordered. Then when people start eating the food, people are complaining about the food. It's not enough. The service this. I'm not going to, it's like now, it's like, and in my mind, I'm like, I done had to pay for parking. I done got up on time. I done showed up on time. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then while I'm eating, trying to eat and enjoy, people complaining. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, okay, well, where we going next? And it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm going home. Why? Because I can get up, take me a nice steam shower, do my self care routine that I need. I can fry me a couple of pieces of chicken, some bacon, some eggs, some waffles. I can go get me 2 bottles of champagne from the store and get me a jug of orange juice or cranberry juice, whatever. I can have as many mimosas as I want, and I don't have to wait on anyone. And then not only that, I don't have to walk away with a $70 or $80 ticket for stuff that I could go to the store and pay for the amount of anywhere between $20 to $30. That is where I am in my life. I refuse to be inconvenienced. No. No, 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 no. I have a rule now, and I told myself, anytime anybody invites me out anywhere, and I agree, if we say, hey, dinner at, I'm just gonna make an example. Let's say, yeah, let's go eat dinner at 6:30. I am going to be there on time. I'm going to go get a table. I am going to give a 5 minute grace period. 6:35, I'm ordering my drink and I'm ordering my food. If you show up 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late, 15 minutes late, I will be drinking and eating without you. That is from choosing me. You got to teach people how to treat you on God. You have to teach people how to treat you. See, that is what brings me peace. And one thing about me, I don't have any kids. I'm not married, right? So it's only me. So when it's only me, I treat people like I treat me. That's what keeps me peaceful. That's what keeps me happy. And when people don't understand why I be saying no to a lot of stuff, all they got to do is just sit back and take a look at their actions. And their actions will explain why I say no. Because I don't play about my time, I don't play about my peace, and I don't play about being inconvenienced. I will allow you to inconvenience your damn self before you inconvenience me. I don't play about me because I've lost so much time playing me and playing about me, having people play in my face and me letting them play in my face. And I'm like, you know what? At this big grown age of 40, I'm good. I'm so good. And this is the last thing. I have fallen in love with me. As a black African American 40-year-old male, man, I love me some me. I am a cool dude. And I know good and goddamn well I'm good and fun to be around. So I enjoy me. Like today, I'm gonna pop me some fresh popcorn because y'all know I love popcorn. I got me a popcorn maker, got all my seasonings. Man, I'm going to finish Wednesday. I'm gonna cook me a good meal today. I'm gonna probably fry me up some chicken and do me some Yukon Gold potatoes, may do me some broccoli or something like that. Or I got some pork chops. Man, I'm gonna cook me a good meal. May keep my phone on do not disturb. And I'm gonna be about my business. That's in a nutshell. So yeah, hopefully y'all laughed in some good moments in this podcast. Hopefully y'all learned some things about me. Hopefully there's some things that you write down or that maybe you took and it's just like, you know what? I kind of need to incorporate some of this stuff. Or I need to tweak some things in my life to kind of, in a sense, get some results of some things that I need for myself. Man, do it. Choose, choose, choose you every single time. All right? Well, other than that, man, I really hope that y'all just enjoyed like this little fun podcast. I think it was fun. I laughed in some moments, you know? Sometimes when you wake up in the morning, put me in your ear, press play on me. While you getting that workout in at the gym, press play. While you cooking or while you out just running errands around and about, catching a flight, man, press play on Evolving with Life Coach Jarrell. Share the podcast out. It's on Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. And also, guys, remember, I'm also a certified professional life coach. If you are needing a coach, if there are some things that you want to start working on for 2026, but you want to get a head start on them now, reach out to me. Visit my website, www.trustjarrell.com. TrustJarell.com. Doesn't matter if you live in Philadelphia, if you live in California, if you live in Virginia, if you live in Florida, or even if you live in Connecticut. I coach all around the world. If you got a camera on your phone, on your iPad, on your laptop, I do virtual sessions. I do it all. All right. And I love y'all so much. And I want you guys to continue to evolve. You all be blessed. See you the next time.